True Sports episode 32 is on the air. I'm Taylor Phillips. He's Louis Tenor. Um, the game that's going on right now, the big one, yes, now has already become a slaughter, even going into the second half.
Yeah.
Georgia's too good. Yeah, that's why they earn that number one spot
Yeah.
constantly, week after week. Michigan fans around here thought that they should have been up, thought that their team should have been number one after being Ohio State.
Right.
I've said this before. You got to earn that. I pointed this out before. You got to earn that. I
Absolutely.
pointed out several times. Fans of the Wolverines and the Lions are a bunch of crybabies. They are. I mean, look. Yeah, there's another sack on Duggan by Jalen Carter. That's Walker rather, not Carter, but yeah, they're the reserves right there. Even Duggan is getting sacked by a reserve player. But in all seriousness, the Lions needed the Seahawks to lose to the Rams, right?
Yes.
But the Rams heading in were already eliminated from playoff contention heading into that game in Seattle. And the Rams obviously hung around, at least defensively. But that late hit on Jalen Ramsey is Georgia now has scored over 60 points. That late hit on Jalen Ramsey, I thought was correct. Branson Robinson, 19-yard touchdown run. Geno Smith had 1 foot out of bounds, and both of Jalen Ramsey's feet were out of bounds as well. They were both going after one another. Clearly, they were both going after one another. The tie of the penalty goes to the ball carrier, whether it be the quarterback or not. And the officials called it unnecessary roughness, but it was technically a late hit anyway. They just didn't choose their words wisely enough. So, either way, the right call was made, kind of. So, and Lions fans thought it screwed their team from playoff contention, but even if they thought it was wrong, that that drive by the Seahawks went for naught because their kicker doinked the field goal attempt off the right post, sending the game to overtime, giving the Los Angeles Rams a chance to win it with a field goal. The Seahawks had the ball first, but they punted. The Rams defense somehow forced the Seahawks offense to go 3 and out, and the Rams had a chance to win it with a field goal. Baker Mayfield threw a long ball. It was easily picked. The Rams lost that game fair and square. The Lions did not get screwed out of the playoffs by the referees. That Lions fans and Lions media always complain about the referees, like they have for over 20 fucking years. They are a bunch of crybabies. They are naive. bunch of crybaby kindergartners. That all the local media needs to be fired around the state if they complain about the officials favoring just to favor their own. If the media tries to favor their own team to over favor their team by complaining about the officials all the time and the league. No, that's definitely not gonna help. It's not even funny. It's just old.
Yes.
The Lions still won 9-8. They still could have made the playoffs, but they weren't in. Here's the thing: they were not even intending to when they started 1-6.
Right.
Yeah, they were trying to work out some kinks. They were making progress. Working out the kinks is making progress. I would have waited until next year anyway as a Lions fan. I'm a Lions fan, and I clearly see that they were not screwed. I'm willing to man up and admit that they were not screwed. They were not. The Rams lost fair and square. The Rams were not that good anyway.
No.
Stafford was still out for the rest of the season due to an injury. The Rams had Baker Mayfield. But even before Stafford got injured, the Rams went off to a sluggish start. I thought they were, to be honest, they were coming off a Super Bowl championship. Were the Rams, but they must have. Yeah, it's a Super Bowl hangover. I get that. Most teams have that. Not all of them, but most teams have that, or at least some. But in all seriousness, let me take a look. 15th. You got the Seahawks and 49ers. The 49ers are gonna destroy the Seahawks anyway in San Francisco. Had the Lions played the 49ers, they would have got killed too.
Right.
I'm being 100% real, and Lions fans and media can't even have the balls to admit it. And then you got the Chargers and Jaguars. I'm going through Saturday's games on here first. Seahawks 49ers 4:30 on Fox. Chargers Jaguars 8:15 on NBC, obviously. And then Dolphins Bills at 1 on Sunday on CBS, Sunday's games. Giants Vikings 4:30 rather on Fox. And then NBC 8:15 Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, yeah, I think the Bengals are going to win that one. And then you got a Monday Night Football wild card game. Even that's very exciting. Cowboys and Buccaneers.
Oh yeah.
On ABC and ESPN.
Yeah.
8:15 p.m. That should be a good one. And the
ready.
Cowboys are favored by 2.5.
Oh, that's too modest. They're gonna cream him.
2.5, just 2.5.
Come on, give us some credit. Give the Cowboys some credit. 2.5.
The Cowboys should be favored by at least 10.
Exactly.
Tom Brady's washed up.
Duh.
I mean, the Buccaneers can still play defense. Don't get me wrong. I guess that's why the 2.5 points is out. That points are out there.
And the Gronk is not special.
Right.
I had to throw that in.
Yeah. So with that being said, oh wow, Purdue's ranked number 1 in college men's basketball.
Oh wow! Despite the loss, okay. Despite the loss to Rutgers.
Yeah.
Okay. From my home state of Jersey.
Yep. But for my Lions, my ceiling for them is at least 11 wins. Because because the way they improved, to be honest, that's not same old Lions anymore.
No.
And I'm actually proud to say that. Even as a realist, even as a realist, whether it's positive or negative, I'm proud to say it. The Lions did not get screwed, but they made progress at the same time. They worked out their kinks. They just didn't have enough time to make that playoff run, yet they were so close, clearly admit, as I would admit, out of all teams. Well, that being said, man, I'm almost out of breath. Take over.
Yeah.
It's your True Sports Report. Go ahead.
You got it. Okay. And I must say that, nobody expected them from 1-6 to do anything, because when you reach 1-6 at that point in the season, you're pretty much gone anyway. But they made a valiant effort. But as the old saying goes, too little, too late. Okay.
Right.
And speaking of
Seahawks own the tiebreaker anyway.
Yeah. And speaking of too late for TCU, the game was over before it even started, as Georgia is just giving them a good old-fashioned whooping, 65-7 at last check. Who knows? It might be higher by now. It might be by the time this program is over. Okay.
Yeah, and Georgia's on the run already.
What a shock. Okay, turning over to the ice. In the early stages of the first period out west, the Kings and Oilers are scoreless. All the rest are final, as the Flyers beat up on the Sabres 4-0, the Kraken over the Canadians 4-0, and the Predators over the Senators 3-0. A light night indeed, of course. All right, so now we'll go over to the standings, and they go like this. 65. I was explaining a much better game out of that tonight. I mean, for TCU, but not to be. All right, so in the NHL on the ice, the Bruins are 33-3. Hold on, I'm gonna go to another page here. Bruins, though, are just too good. They are 34-2 and have 68 points right now. Oh, that's just unbelievable. Next up is the Maple Leafs at 29-9-7 at 57 points. The Lightning are 22-13-1 at 49 points. Oops. Hang on a second. And of course, Boston just creaming the competition right now. All right, so continuing on. But the Rangers and Devils, that was a game on Saturday afternoon, and Devils got them 4-3 in the end. Ugh, just miserable. My nephew was at the game, and he enjoyed it. So continuing. Also, what happened over today? Hold on. Just a second here. Okay, we'll take care of the scores in a minute. Stephen Curry could possibly play for the Warriors as early as tomorrow. Curry missed the last 11 games with a subluxation in his shoulder, and was listed as probable for tomorrow's game against the Phoenix Suns. That according to the latest injury report. Head coach Steve Kerr and general manager Bob Myers said that last week that they were hopeful that he might be able to return as early as this weekend. Well, that didn't happen, as the Warriors head on a 5-game road trip. On Friday, Curry stated he'll return when he is ready. And that day, he participated in 5-on-5 workouts for the first time since being injured. Curry was in full practice today and scrimmaged again. as he's been wearing a sleeve on his left arm, which is said to be both for function and athletics. The Warriors are 6-5 without Curry, not counting the game against Indiana since he went down with the injury. Mm-hmm. The pain in Anthony Davis' right foot continues to subside as he plans to ramp up his process and resume play when the Lakers return home this week. Davis has missed the last 12 in a row, including Saturday as the Lakers beat the Kings. The injury is a bone fracture in his right foot and caused a stress reaction. Not good. The Lakers, though, are 7-5 without him as they head into tonight's game against the Nuggets. The injury occurred last month after feeling a sharp pain in his left foot after his lower leg collided with Nikolai Jokic of the Nuggets. Ugh. Since then, Davis has been limited to spot shooting so far, according to sources. He is on the court beyond rehabbing his foot since the injury occurred about 3 weeks ago. The workout will include working on an aquatic pool and an altered stress gravity treadmill to keep the weight off his foot as the injury continues to heal. Okay, more bad news. Nets forward Kevin Durant could miss a month after he was diagnosed with the MCL injury in his right knee. The Nets made the announcement today. Yuck. Durant underwent MRI that confirmed the injury. Not good. He will be reevaluated in 2 weeks' time, but looks like he's going to be out for more than that. The injury was sustained in the third quarter as the Nets beat the Heat by 1 point on Saturday night. Tough break for the Nets, but this is not the first time he's been suffering an injury because it happened last season. And at that point, the Nets were 29-15 at that point, but then went on an 11-game losing streak. So let's hope it doesn't happen like that again. Ugh. Could be deja vu all over again? I hope not. Yuck. Clippers coach Ty Lue shaked up his starting lineup yesterday by replacing point guard Reggie Jackson. No, not that Reggie Jackson. Let's keep that in mind. But the Clippers watched Trae Young of the Hawks take over in the fourth quarter, and they lost their sixth straight. Young scored 14 of his 30 points in the fourth, erasing 11-point Clippers lead, and gave the Hawks a 4-point win. The Clippers are now even at 21-21, had championship expectations heading into the season, and are now in the midst of their longest losing streak in the era of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Leonard said this is a good test to see if the Clippers can persevere. I think it's good when Leonard was asked about the team chemistry while facing adversity, yet they're still being positive. The Clippers have been able to stay healthy as Paul George was still standing up with a right hamstring and Luke Kennard with a calf injury. Yeah. Terrence Mann, who replaced Jackson, had 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Get the right players to replace it, you're good. Yeah. I thought it was going to be 2 weeks, and it's going to be a month for KD. Okay. Well, deja vu happened again for the Nuggets. You ready for this? The game was delayed a second time. The Denver Nuggets game was delayed a second time by a crooked rim for the second straight game. Officials stopped the game 39 seconds into the fourth on Saturday, with the Nuggets leading the Cavaliers 96-82. The Cavaliers players noticed the same rim that caused a 35-minute delay nearly a week ago. Oh boy, when rains it pours. Just like Saturday, a crew with 2 orange ladders hustled onto the floor with a wrench and a level as the crowd booed very loudly, and with good reason. Nuggets coach Mike Malone stormed onto the floor, stopped on the foul line, and saw the bent rim, shook his head, and went back to the bench. And he was not happy. Workers used the bench to fix the problem quicker than they were over the Celtics with the delay of only 10 minutes. The Nuggets continued to roll after the delay and won their 10th straight home game. Nikolai Jokic has 10th triple-double of the season. They got to do something about those rims, though. Oof. Okay, so we've all know about Damar Hamlin, and he is thankfully recovering. But the Buffalo Sabres had a celebration of the safety before their overtime win over the Wild on Saturday. Hamlin is on a long road to recovery, going into as he went into cardiac arrest in last Monday's game against the Bengals. He is now breathing on his own. Addressed the Bills on video on Friday. The Sabres and Bills owner are owned by Terry and Kim Pegula, and the team players had developed a bond for each other through that connection. Fans throughout the crowd held up signs saying DH3 with a heart on it, and the left for Damar was shown on the video board. 65-7, that game was over at last. Yeah, 2 words. No contest.
Official final.
Official final. Thank God.
Or Hamlin. I knew he would pull through.
Yeah.
I had faith in him. It was a serious problem in the NFL, but Damar Hamlin was one tough son of a gun.
Sure was. Yeah.
Reminds me of Yuri Fisher.
Oh.
For the Detroit Red Wings.
Oh yeah.
Remember when he collapsed?
I think I do.
Late in 2005 at home against the Nashville Predators.
Oh yeah.
When the Wings were playing the Nashville Predators.
I think I heard the game on the news. I don't think I was able to see that game though. But
yeah, that was at Joe Louis Arena, the historic Joe Louis Arena.
At the Joe. Yeah, nothing better than the Joe. All right, so Zach LaVine appears to be his old self again. Well, after starting the season unable to start in back-to-back games after coming off a left knee injury, the Bulls guard was his old self again after scoring a combined 77 points against the Sixers and Jazz. Not 77 points in one game, but in 2 games combined. Let's get that perfectly clear. First few back-to-backs I played, I did not feel great, LaVine said, after he was 12 for 21 last night. LaVine got hot after going 17 for 25 from the three-point line. The last 2 games, a welcome sign for a team that has taken the fewest three-pointers at 28.7. Head coach Billy Donovan encouraged LaVine to increase his three-point total shots to 10 to 15 per game. LaVine's surge has helped the Bulls gain momentum as they now won 3 in a row and now 8 of their last 11. Still nothing like the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen era, but still, making headway. Then again, we'll never see another Jordan Pippen combination. Well, not my lifetime anyway. And Klay Thompson became a late scratch for the game against the Magic after experiencing left soreness during pregame warmups. Thompson's left knee is the same leg that tore his ACL in 2019. Oh, boy. Warriors coach Steve Kerr said the training staff's decision to remove Thompson was just a precaution. The Warriors do not expect it to be a long-term issue. They had today off, practice, but they had Sunday off, and they practiced today to get ready for the Suns tomorrow. Good luck. All right. So now we'll take care of some scores here. Okay, now the standings for the NHL, and they go like this. Bruins are 32-4-4 at 68 points. 68 points. Wow. Leafs are at 57 points at 25-9-7. The Lightning 24-13-1 49 points. The Sabres 20-16-2 42 points. Oh well. Panthers at 40 points at 18-19-4. Your Red Wings at 39 points at 16-15-7. Also 39 points with the Senators at 18-19-3. And the Canadiens at 16-22-3, 35 points. Well. Metro. Hurricanes 25-8-7, 57 points. The Devils 25-12-3, 53 points. The Capitals 23-14-6, 52 points. Rangers drop a bit to 51 points, 22-12-7, but in striking distance between the Capitals and Devils. And we're not counting the Hurricanes yet, so it's close. Pens 46 points, 20-13-6. Islanders 22-17-2, 46 points as well. The Flyers 16-18-7, 39 points, and the Blue Jackets, a miserable 12-25-2, 26 points. But if you think that's bad, there's something that's even worse than that. I'll explain that in a minute. To the West, in the Central, the Stars 24-11-6, 54 points. The Jets 53 points, 26-13-1. The Wild 22-14-3, 47 points. The Predators 19-4-5, 6, 44 points. The Avalanche 20-15-3, 43 points. The Blues 43 points at 20-18-3. The Coyotes 31 points at 13-21-5, and the Blackhawks 10-25-4, 24 points. See, I told you it was a team worse than the Blue Jackets, and there they are. Yeah. Sad, isn't it? All right, the Pacific. The Knights 27-13-2, 56 points. The Kings 52 points, 23-14-6, 52 points. The Kraken 23-12-4, 50 points in only their second year. The Flames 19-14-8, 46 points, 45 points. And the Oilers at 21-17-3. Canucks 37 points, 17-9-3. Sharks 12-21-8, 32 points, and the Ducks 12-25-4, 28 points. For some reason, I thought those teams were going to do better this year. I don't know what gave me the impression of it, but I was wrong. What can I say? Yep. But it's really going to be a battle between, I think, the Rangers, Devils, and the Capitals as we head, towards the stretch. And, now with the All-Star break coming up, this is going to be very interesting in that division. All right, so tomorrow's schedule goes like this, and it's a big one, sort of. The Kraken will take on the Sabres at 7. Other 7 o'clock games are as follows. The Devils take on the Hurricanes. The Jets take on your Red Wings. The Wild take on my Rangers. The Canucks take on the Pens. The Blue Jackets take on the Lightning. 7:30 games are the Stars taking on the Islanders. The Stars will take on the Islanders. The Flames will take on the Blues at 8. 9 o'clock, the Sharks will take on the Coyotes. And at 9:30, the Panthers will take on the Avalanche. But they're not the same team as they were either. This year they've kind of suffered a little bit of championship hangover too. But also, again, remember the fact that injuries, can play a part. And when you have your best team players that are injured, you're not going to be the same team as you were that won the Stanley Cup, or for that matter, for any championship. Very hard to do, to win, back-to-back championships. Okay, so on the court we go. At 5:01 to go in the fourth, the Nuggets are having an easy time with the Lakers, 111-95. Westbrook has 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists so far. Jamal Murray has 34 points. He did not give anything else on that one. Okay, fine. Kings are being up on the the Magic, 72-52. Fultz has 10 points, and Barnes has 17 points. I believe all the rest are final, if I'm not mistaken, as the Pelicans be up on the Wizards 132-112. McCollum had 34 points. Porzingis had 23 points and 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Oh, sure. Now you're doing good. Where were you when you were on the Knicks, you big dope? Yeah. Celtics over the Bulls, 107-99. Zach LaVine, and again, 27 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. And Jason Tatum, 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Bucks over the Knicks, 111-107. The Greek Freak, 22 points, 10 rebounds. Jalen Brunson, 44 points, 7 rebounds. You might have thought it'd been a lot more of a lopsided game, but the Knicks hung in there. They still lost, but it was highly competitive. Only a 4-point loss. So, well, not too bad. And the Grizzlies over the Spurs, 121-113. Richardson had 16 points. Jones has 24 points, 6 assists, and 3 steals. Yeah, I was going to say assists, but it was steals. So, nevertheless, good for him. All right, so we'll go to the standings now as we're now approaching almost mid-January, and the standings become seem a little bit more important. All right, so the Celtics still lead the East at 29-12. Look out, though. The Nets are right behind them, 27-13, only a game and a half back. The Bucks, 2.5 back at 26-14. Cavaliers, 26-15, 3 back. The Sixers, 24-15, 4 back. Yeah. Pacers, 23-18 at 6 back. The Knicks, decent, 22-19, 7 back. The Heat, 21-28 back. The Hawks are 19-21, 9.5 back, and the Bulls, 19-22, 10 back. Further down the list are the Raptors at 17-23, 11.5 back. The Wizards, 17-24, 12 back. Sorry, Steve. The Magic, 15-25, 13.5 back. The Hornets, 11-30, 18 back. And your Pistons, I'm sorry to say, 11-32, 19 back. I tried to say it out loud, but, well, you know. To the West, the Grizzlies, 27-13. Have a half-game lead over the Nuggets at 26-13. The Pelicans, the surprise team of the year, I think, are 2.5 back at 25-16. The Mavericks, 23-18, 4.5 back. The Kings, 20-18, 6 back. The Clippers, 21-21, 7 back. The Warriors are also 7 back, but they're at 20-20. 7.5 back are the Suns and Wolves at 20-21. Also 7 back are the Blazers, but they're 19-20. On the outside looking in, the Lakers are 19-21, 8 back. The Jazz, 20-23, 8.5 back. The Thunder, or in this case the Blunder, 18-22, 9 back. The Spurs, 13-28, 14.5 back. Spurs are, and the Rockets still grounded at 10-30, 17 back. Ugh. Man. I mean, that's just like, ugly. That's just plain ugly. 10 wins, and we're in the middle of January. That's just a story statement right there. And we'll take this schedule and take the schedule for a few seconds. Okay, tomorrow's schedule goes like this. The Pistons will take on the Sixers at 7. The 7:30 games will be the Thunder and the Heat. That's a TNT game. The Hornets will take on the Raptors at 7:30. 9 o'clock, the Cavaliers take on the Jazz. The 10 o'clock TNT game, the Suns take on the Warriors. The Magic will take on the Blazers at 10. At 10:30, the Mavericks will take on the Clippers. Okay. So, and the Lakers have extended their winning streak to 5 games on Saturday, but now without controversy. Kings guard De'Aaron Fox's call for a foul on Lakers' Dennis Schroeder with 3.1 seconds left in the fourth. With the score tied, the foul was on the floor with Fox hitting Schroeder in the hip with his thigh. The point guard attempted to drive through the hoop since the Kings were already in the penalty. The foul meant 2 free throws. for the Lakers. The Kings challenged the call, but after a video review, the ruling was upheld. Schroeder made both free throws, finishing with 27 points, 8 for 11 shooting, and 7 for 7 on the foul line. Schroeder's foul shots decided the game winner as Fox hit a 43-foot heave from half court line, hitting the back of the rim as time expired. Yowza. Fox led the Kings with 34 points and 9 assists and left the game without speaking to reporters. Spoil sport. He did, however, offer his thoughts on the final sequence in a tweet, writing that the Kings, though, was supposed to be let the players decide the game. Well, yeah, you're right about that. The players are supposed to decide the game. I don't know if anybody follows the junior hockey circuit, but we have some interesting news here. Canada beat the Czech Republic to win their 20th World Junior title. Dylan Guenther scored 2 goals in the game in the championship round. The Coyotes forward pass from Joshua Waugh 2-1 and beat goaltender Thomas Suchak in the 3-on-3 extra session. Thomas Malik had 24 saves to preserve the win for Canada. So congratulations on that. The Capitals should be in full. The Capitals are now in full gear as 2 of their best players are making their season debut. Nicholas Backstrom and, of course, Mr. Dirty Pool himself, Tom Wilson, made their season debut on Saturday night. Yes, both players are coming off on the injured reserve list as they face the Blue Jackets on Saturday. Backstrom had off-season resurfacing surgery that hampered his ability to skate. He is only the second player to return from that operation. Ed Jovanovski returned from the same injury in 2014. Wilson underwent surgery to repair a torn ACL in his left knee. He was injured in Game 1 of the first-round series against the Panthers. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Mm-hmm. And LeBron's closing in on a milestone. He just might be able to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record. He's less than 500 points away from breaking the mark that has 38,397 points. LeBron said he knew he was ready for the moment. He told ESPN in an interview, "I knew I was going to go into the greatest league in the world. I didn't know what to expect. I was just a nervous wreck and didn't know how my first bucket was going to come." 3 minutes and 4 seconds later, into his first game in October of 2003, he hit his first shot on a 1-dribble pull-up from a 16-foot from the basket to the baseline. It was not an easy shot either, said LeBron, but I was just so nervous with excitement, I didn't want to fail and let people down. Sounds like on my first show. LeBron is averaging 33.7 points per game on 57.8% shooting in his past 12 games, including 25 points on 10% shooting in their win over the Hawks. Yeah, look at him now, 20 years later. All right. The Hornets smashed the NBA record of scoring 51 points in the first quarter thanks to Terry Rozier and 39 points and crushed the Bucks on Saturday. The 51 points record was set by the Warriors in 2019. It was also the most points scored by the Warriors in any period. The Hornets starter scored 114 points against the Bucks, the most points scored by the team starters in franchise history. The Hornets were only the third team since the shot clock era to score 50 points or more as a road team.
That was over 50 points, wasn't it?
51.
51, yeah.
Yep. The Warriors did against the Nuggets at the Syracuse Nationalists, who are now the Philadelphia 76ers, did that against the Warriors back in 1962. That game was probably in black and white. The Greek Freak scored a season low 9 points. It was 2% from the line, from the field, and 5 from the foul line. Well, he's not really a good foul shooter anyway. What a shock. Bobby Portis had 19 points and 12 rebounds for a 6th straight double-double, and LaMelo Ball, yes, LaMelo Ball, scored 24 points. Wow. He started as a joke, but now he's making some headway. All right. Well, for you tennis lovers out there, the Australian Open is at the end of the month, but uh, men's men's player Carlos Alcaraz won't be playing as he suffered an injury to his right leg. Ugh. The team wonder from Spain wrote on social media he was injured through an unnatural movement in training, whatever that means. Alcazar won the U.S. Open in September and moved to the top of the rankings just like that. That allowed him to become the youngest male to finish the season at number 1 in 50 years. That's according to the computer rankings. This was his second injury in the past few months. Alcazar ended the season early November as he tore an abdominal muscle while competing at the Paris Masters that forced him to withdraw from the Davis Cup finals and the ATP finals. Nevertheless, he closed out last year with an impressive 57-13 record and 5 singles titles. So, nothing to be too upset about that. Okay. So now I'll move on to other news here. And I guess if you're a Patriots fan, not to be happy about because they suffered their first losing season since the days of Brady when he was there, before he got there. Well. All right. The Tennessee Titans cleaned house today as they fired 4 assistant coaches, including offensive coordinator Todd Dowling, who held that position for the past 2 seasons. The Titans also fired offensive line coach Keith Carter, secondary coach Anthony Midget, and offensive skills assistant Eric Frazier. The Titans are coming off a disappointing 7-10 season, capped by loss to the Jaguars that eliminated the Titans from playoff contention. The Titans lost their last 7 games. I thought the Jets were bad. Head coach Mike Vrabel today said, "We did not do a good enough job and lost too many games. The self-reflection nobody would evaluate if they did a good enough because we did not win." The short answer just was, we were just not good enough. While Dowling is out, quarterback Ryan Tannehill indicated that he wants to return next season. Yeah, okay, we'll see. For the second time this season, Packers linebacker Quay Walker was ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct. Walker was thrown out last night's game against the Lions after team physician T. Sean Lynch, who was tending to injured running back DeAndre Swift on the field. Walker tweeted an apology for his actions in writing when he apologized for last night's actions, saying he reacted out of emotions and he takes full responsibility of making stupid decisions yet again. Since then, I have questioned myself on what did I do, what I did when the trainer was doing his job. I was wrong. Shortly after Walker posted the lengthy apology on Twitter, he informed reporters in the locker room at Lambeau today that he spoke to Dr. Lynch and apologized for his actions. He also met with the Packers coach Matt LaFleur and members of the team's front office. Still, you're a boob. Bills safety Damar Hamlin was released from the Cincinnati Medical Center earlier today after spending a week there after into cardiac arrest during the Bills-Bengals game. The news was shared by doctors William Knight and Timothy Pritz. Hamlin flew from Cincinnati back to Buffalo today as he was transferred to Buffalo General Medical Center, where he will continue to receive medical treatment and is now in stable condition. Wow. I mean, just when a week ago we thought that he wasn't even breathing, and we were assuming the worst. Now he's in stable condition. That's got to be miraculous, right? That has to be miraculous. And the Giants game was 4:30 on Sunday. I thought it would be. Okay. Well, Bill Belichick is planning to return to the Patriots to coach for his 24th season. After declaring that he intends to return, Belichick said the Patriots' 8-9 season, nobody is satisfied with that. That was not our goal, obviously. We need to improve on that. So that's all of us, accountability across the board, starting with me, then the coaching staff, the players, each unit, probably the parking attendant. Oh boy. Uh, that's all the things that we need to address. And the process will start later today if it hasn't already. Belichick says that he will include a meeting with owner Robert Kraft, who said in March that he was not happy with the Patriots and was not won a playoff game since they beat the Rams in Super Bowl 53 in 2019. Oh, yeah, boo hoo. Okay? Yeah. Belichick has 329 coaching victories, including playoffs, second only to Don Shula with 342. Oh, haven't won since 2019. Oh, big whoop. Yeah. All right. Well, it's firing day, of course, in the NFL, or as we call it, Black Monday. The firings continue around the league as the Cardinals fired head coach Cliff Kingsbury. This comes less than a year after signing him to a 4-year contract lasting to 2027. Okay, a 5-year. The move comes the day after losing their final game of the season to the 49ers, completing a woeful 4-13 season. Kingsbury finishes his time with the Cardinals with a record of 28, 36, and 1. Not a record to be proud of, that's for sure. He was hired in January 2019 after being fired from Texas Tech to help a fleeting offense in a struggling organization. He experienced moderate success, leading the Cardinals to a 5-10 season, 5-10-1 season in 2019, then going to 8-8 in 2020, and then 11-6 just last year, and made the postseason. However, his tenure with the Cardinals was marred by late season drop-offs and 4 years of undisciplined football that culminated with this last season. Okay, not very confident there, are we? Yeah. Well. And Jalen Hurts' return to the Eagles was not dazzling, but it was successful enough to beat the Giants in the Turnpike War and take the top seed in the NFC East. With a 14-3 record, they set a new record for most victories in franchise history, passing the previous marks in 2014 and 2017 when the Eagles made the Super Bowl. And they, both years, winning one and losing one. Hurts, who carried a questionable designation on the injury report this past week, finished 20 for 35 on 229 yards passing and interception, adding 9 carries for 13 yards. A third trip depends on how healthy Hurts is after he suffered a sprained shoulder in the December 18th game against the Bears, or as some of you say, the Bears. All right. We did not feel like there was more risk for the injury, but I knew he was hurting and hurting badly, said Coach Nick Sirianni. Oh boy. But that's the kind of competitor he is. That's the kind of player he is. His first pass was a 35-yard completion to A.J. Brown. And with the play, Hurts became the second Eagles player in franchise history to have 3,500 passing yards and 500 rushing yards in a season. Only Randall Cunningham did that previously, and that was a long time ago. Brown broke the single season receiving yards record held by Mike Quick with 1,409 yards. This was the Eagles' first division title since 2019. And we have another firing to tell you about as the Houston Texans fired Coach Lovie Smith in only his first season after going, 3-13-1. I mean, was you really were expecting them to do better this year? I mean, come on. We are grateful for his leadership and wish him well, the best moving forward, said Cal McNair in a statement yesterday. While we understand the results had not been what we had wished for, we are committed to building a program that provides long-term, sustainable success. Our fans deserve a team they can be proud of. For the second straight year, the Texans fired the head coach only after 1 year. David Culley was fired a year ago.
Yeah.
Smith was the defensive coordinator and associate head coach for Culley's staff and was promoted to head coach last February 7th. McNair said he will work with general manager Nick Caserino to find a new leader. The Texans finished their season with a 1-point win over the Colts and played highly competitive in 4 of the last 5 games. With the win coupled with loss from the Bears, the Vikings, the Texans fall to number 2 in the draft order as the Bears took the top spot. So I guess that would be considered a moral victory for the Bears. Maybe. White Sox closer Liam Hendriks announced yesterday he was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and has begun treatment. Hearing the word cancer comes as a shock to him and his wife, as it does to others. However, I am resolved to embrace the fight and overcome this new challenge with the same determination I have used when faced with other challenges, he wrote an Instagram post. Hendriks is a 12-year veteran, playing for his 5th team, and this will be his 3rd season with the White Sox, and 75 saves for the team as well. Good luck. Cancer. All right. Well, as I said, the Bears lost to the Vikings, but it's not all gloom and doom, as they will get the first pick in the April draft. Coming into yesterday's game, the Bears were number 2, jumping ahead of the Texans in the draft order after the Texans beat the Colts. The Bears needed to lose, and the Texans needed to win to secure the top spot in the draft. So I guess it was a moral victory. Well, like I said, maybe. A wild fourth quarter finish that culminated with a 28-yard touchdown pass by the Texas tight end Jordan Akins on a 4-20 pass by Davis Mills, followed the successful 2-point conversion. Akins is giving them only their 3rd win of the year, finishing at 3-13-1. My brother is not happy with that. Sorry. The Texans dropped to 2nd in the draft order with the win. Lovie Smith addressed the consequences in the victory post-game, saying the Texans followed on their own game plan, which was to win. The Bears finished the season at 3-14 and had 10 straight losses. And I thought the Jets were bad. Quarterback Justin Fields missed yesterday's game with a hip injury that he suffered against the Lions. Fields finished with 64 yards short of the single-season quarterback rushing record. So close, yet so far. All right. The Dolphins made the playoffs for the first time since 2016 with the win over the Jets. Dolphins kicker Jason Sanders, who was 1 for 5 in field goals of 50 yards or more, connecting on a 50-yard attempt with 18 seconds left to seal the victory before scoring a safety. That's on 11-6. The 5-year drought marked the 3rd longest in franchise history as Mike McDaniel joins Adam Gase and Don Shula and Tony Sparrow and David Wanstead as the only Dolphins coaches to make the playoffs in their first playoff season. Another milestone in the career for Tom Brady as he broke his own single-season completion record. It came on a 5-yard pass to wide receiver Russell Gage, though it gained little attention. The significance of Brady breaking another record can't be overstated, even at his age. In the Bucs' win over the Falcons, Brady broke the single-season record for most completions of a season with 490. His previous record was 485 just last year. He left the game with 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter and was replaced by Blaine Gabbert. Brady completed 13 for 17 for 84 yards with 1 touchdown on an 8-yard pass to tight end Kyle Rudolph. Rudolph, the red-nosed tight end. Yep. Brady finished the season with 4,778 yards, passing yards, 5th most in his career, and 26 touchdowns. Yuck. Yeah, what can I say about that? Well, I mean, I will give credit that Brady is a good quarterback, but if only we believe it for our side. Yeah. The Jaguars took the AFC South, and as usual, they did it the hard way. The Jaguars trailed in the game for 57 minutes, managing only one offensive touchdown, and did not gain a single yard in the fourth quarter. Yet, on a huge play of defense, was enough to give them the win over the Titans on Saturday night. The Jaguars, 9-8, who finished last season at 3-14, are the fourth seed in the AFC and will host a wildcard game next week against the fifth seeded team. This was the Jaguars' first postseason since 2017. The Jaguars trailed by 3 heading into the fourth, while safety Rashawn Jenkins and linebacker Josh Allen combined the biggest play of the game. Jenkins sacked Titans quarterback Joshua Dobbs, on a blitz and knocked the ball loose and returned for a touchdown to give the Jaguars the lead. That bailed out an offense of only 47 plays, only getting 222 yards, the lowest total of the season, managing a -1 on 9 plays in the fourth quarter. Wow. It was the defense that won the game for us, said wide receiver Christian Kirk, who had 6 catches for 99 yards, scoring their only offensive touchdown, a 25-yard pass from Trevor Lawrence. Sean McVay's future is in jeopardy. Well, he hasn't been fired yet, but he probably will at some point. The sources believe that McVay will take time after the finale against the Seahawks to determine if he returns next season. McVay has gone back and forth on the decision and needs to get away to process what has transferred in the past year. Winning the Super Bowl quarter to work, getting married, losing his grandfather, and then coaching a team that fell short of expectations. Wow, talk about a roller coaster. The Rams were 5-11 for the first time that McVay will have a losing record since he was hired in 2017. The Rams have been plagued by injuries, and sources believe that has taken its toll on McVay, and time to recharge and determine whether he has the energy to return next season. Well, when you're marred by injuries, like I said, that's going to hurt. So, that's just how it goes. If you're not healthy, you're not going to win. So you had to factor in that. That's just how bad, It was pretty much a Super Bowl hangover, to be honest with you, because they were not this. This was not the same Rams team that won the Super Bowl last year. I'm sorry to say. And this day and age with free agency and whatnot, very difficult to do. Just too difficult to do in this day and age. Okay, and Martina Navratilova, well, she has a double form of cancer, but she does seem to be holding up in good spirits. She has a record, though, I don't think anybody is going to beat. 137 singles titles. That is going to be tough to beat by anybody, but we certainly wish them the best of luck, of course. Okay, so the standings for the NFL concluding go like this. The Bills finish at 13-3. The Dolphins finish at 9-8. The Patriots finish at 8-9. And the Jets finish at 7-10. Yuck. To the north, the Bengals 12-4-0. The Ravens 10-7-0. The Steelers 9-8. And the Browns 7-10. The Steelers are eliminated. Jaguars 9-8-0 in the south. Titans 7-10-0. The Colts 4-12-1. And the Texans 3-13-1. Yeah. How miserable can you get? To the west, the Chiefs 14-3-0. The Chargers decent 10-7-0. The Raiders 6-11-0. And the Broncos 5-12-0. To the NFC, Eagles, yeah, they won the division 14-3-0. Cowboys, after a disaster yesterday, are 12-5-0, losing the Commanders. Giants 9-7-1, and the Commanders 8-8-1. To the north, the Vikings 13-4-0. The Lions, good effort, but not enough, as they finished 9-8-0. Packers eliminated 8-9-0, and the Bears 3-14-0. As I said, too little, too late. To the north, south rather, the Bucks. Oh boy. Even though they finished with a losing record, they're still making it win the division 8-9-0. Give me a break. And all the Panthers, Saints, and Falcons all finished 7-10-0. What a pathetic division that is. The West, 49ers 13-4-0. Seahawks 9-8-0. Rams 5-12-0. Super Bowl hangover season. And the Cardinals finished at 4-13-0. Yuck. Yeah. Like I said, Super Bowl hangover. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for the playoffs. It's been a great regular season. Now let's see what you got in the postseason. Yeah, well, good luck with that. So I'll be ready. I'll be ready on Saturday, and I'm definitely looking forward to that Monday night game with my Cowboys. Oh,
Yep.
that's
I'll be
going to be a
watching that
matchup.
one.
So will I, with bated breath.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have another True Sports episode next Monday covering that one.
I can't wait for that. Oh yeah. Oh, and the Broncos have made a formal request and received permission to speak to Sean Payton for the vacant coaching job. Sources told ESPN that Broncos, who have fired coach Nathaniel Hackett on December 26th after a 4-11 record, his 15-game tenure, and formally made the request. Payton stepped down as coach of the Saints in 2022 after 15 years. The NFL has informed the Broncos that the earliest they can interview Payton is next Tuesday, January 17th. Yeah. Lamar Jackson has a strong chance to play next week's wild card matchup. Jackson has been sidelined for a month with a sprained knee. With the win over the Broncos, he was ruled out for the game against the Bengals, though, yesterday. Jackson still has swelling in his knee. The source said the situation has healed as quickly as it hoped, which is why Jackson has been out for so long. Head coach John Harbaugh has said that he hopes to have Jackson back by next week. It's possible. Not definite, but possible. Okay? And no surprise that the Chiefs beat up on the Raiders and clinched the NFC West. The Chiefs 14-3 have the divisional playoff game in 2 weeks. Home field advantage for the AFC Championship game is not guaranteed since the NFL adapted some changes in their seating procedures, which is a little weird and a bit confusing. All about the neutral site and how the would all play out. Home field advantage. Under certain circumstances, the game could be played at a neutral site, but we played in KC if the Bills lose to the Patriots, assuming the Chiefs advance. Now, why wouldn't I think that? I mean, I think the Chiefs have a good chance of advancing. I know. Any given Sunday, I know.
Yeah, the Chiefs are one of the top dogs in the AFC.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, TCU, no chance. Ugh. All right, now for a disturbing story here, somewhat. A suburban Chicago basketball team postponed 2 of their games after players were sent to the hospital after very grueling workouts. Cordelia College in Chicago, or just outside of Chicago, also had suspended coach Steve Kohler. Athletic director Peter Gann sent a letter to the parents on Thursday explaining what happened on a road trip to California in December, where the team played 2 games there. He said the team was put through a high intense workout procedure on December 31st, as reported by the Chicago Tribune. It had been alleged that some of the intense and difficulty of the practice was a direct result of breaking curfew while in California, Gann said. It is not clear whether any of the players were still in the hospital at the time I wrote this report. An email seeking comment was sent to the athletic department spokesman. The Cougars postponed games last Tuesday and Saturday. 5 players overall were sent to the hospital. Now, okay, here's the thing here. You didn't have the right to break the curfew, of course. You were there to play a game, not be on vacation. But you're putting your players through something that was, I think, a little bit tough to handle. I think maybe you might have stepped out of line and was using, I think, abusive power in this mess. So, what the players did was wrong, but I think what the coach did was, a little bit abusive on that. I discussed that on Saturdays, and most people agree with me that I think the coach did step over the line with those grueling workouts and sent the players to the hospital. There's a fine line between discipline and abuse, and that's the way I look at it. Mm-hmm. And the Dodgers cut ties with pitcher Trevor Bauer, a young winner who was handed out lengthy suspension following allegations of sexual assault. Bauer was placed on designated for assignment, meaning the Dodgers had until 2 p.m. Tuesday to find a trade partner. If they can't, then Bauer would be released on unconditional waivers. If he clears them, he'll be an unrestricted free agent the following day. The decision came 2 weeks after an arbitrator trimmed Bauer's suspension by 50 games. To begin
so he's not officially gone yet.
Not yet. Yeah, from 2/24 to
might be.
Yeah, most likely. The ruling triggered a 14-day window for the Dodgers to decide whether or not to add him to the roster. And if you think your college basketball team is terrible, Georgetown is a lot worse, as they have lost 25 consecutive conference games. Now that's pathetic. If you think your team is bad, ugh. That's gonna be one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Yeah. And like I said, well, the Washington Capitals, they might have their weapons back as they have their 2 players back. I still think Wilson, though, is a dirty player. I really do. I've watched him play over the years, and he is just ugh. Oh, and Pistons forward Marvin Bagley Jr. underwent surgery on his right hand and will miss 6 weeks with the Pistons. The surgery
the Pistons
repaired.
Suck.
That's true, but still, you're missing your best player. And as the old saying goes,
our best player is Cade Cunningham, not Marvin Bagley.
Oh, well, still, you hate to see a player go down, even though you do have.
I miss Cade Cunningham too, but
yeah,
it's not Marvin Bagley.
So the surgery repaired a fractured on the 3rd and 4th metacarpal in Bagley's right hand. He suffered the injury in a loss to the Blazers. And for the Wizards, there's no one as Bradley Beal will miss a week after being diagnosed with a low-grade hamstring, the Wizards announced. Beal made his return to last Tuesday, after missing 3 games with a sore hamstring and was out for the second half. An MRI confirmed the hamstring. The Wizards said he would miss 3 games. That was with the Thunder last week and should be evaluated within the next day or 2. Yeah, but my co-host of that will not be happy either. And the Nets' 12-game winning streak is over as the Bulls put an end to that earlier this week. Kevin Durant did score 44 points, but the Bulls halted the team's longest winning streak of the season by controlling the game from the start. The Bulls led by as much as 18 points with a 10-point lead at the half and never trailed as they came on back-to-back losses against over last week against the Cavaliers. To come and play after two tough losses and then beat the hottest team in the league says it's good. Said by Zach LaVine. I think we came out with the right attention to detail. We withstood their run at the end and beat them collectively. DeMar DeRozan and Patrick Williams each scored 22 points, while Nikolai Vorik and LaVine scored 13 and 21 points respectively. Well, you can't win them all. Yeah. And finally, a rather disturbing story here. University of Texas men's basketball coach Chris Beard was fired at a month-long suspension after being suspended on domestic violence charge. Associate coach Rodney Terry, who has been acting coach in Beard's absence, will handle coaching duties for the rest of the season. Athletic director of the Longhorns, Chris Del Conte, announced the decision was difficult. Made a decision in a statement back on Thursday. The viewership parted ways with Beard. He said this was a difficult decision that they've been working through. He was arrested on December 12th after hitting his fiancée, Randy True. She told police that he choked her from behind and hit and bit her as they got into an argument. His attorney said that Beard is 100% innocent of the charges, and True released a statement on December 23rd denying that Beard choked her. Yeah. Domestic violence, it's just sad how that comes about. Especially when you think it's someone your fiance, for crying out loud. I mean, you're supposed to love this person. You want to, hurting her.
It's just a darn shame.
It is. It's a sad statement in this country.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hate to end on such a grim note, but I'll take care of my reports. So I'll turn it back over to you.
All right. So that was episode 32 of True Sports. I'm Taylor. He's Lewis. True Sports already been announced. Episode 33 next Monday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have live coverage of the Cowboys-Buccaneers game.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, ta-ta for now. Hit him with a hind.